We already said that patents can be granted for inventions that are new, involve an inventive step, and are susceptible of industrial application. Let's now speak about novelty. An invention is considered to be novel if it does not form part of the state of the art. The state of the art comprises everything made available to the public by means of written or oral description, by use or in any other way before the date of filing of the patent application. All documents may be part of the state of the art, not only patents. For example, the article of a journal, a scientific publication, a brochure, a catalog, an internet page. The state of the art may comprise an oral description, a presentation in an exhibition, or a public prior use. For instance, my invention can consist in a pair of shoes to which I added a radio, thus allowing me to listen to the music while walking. If I used my invention in public, the invention was disclosed by a public prior use, and I will be subsequently prevented from patenting it for lack of novelty. There is no reason to grant a patent for something which is already available to the public before the filing date. A patent is a reward and an incentive to the inventor for disclosing his invention, and patenting requires a detailed description of the invention. Novelty is usually evaluated by an examiner during a grant procedure. The disclosure of a document must generally be considered in isolation from that of other documents when assessing novelty. It is not permissible to pool together features separately disclosed in different documents. If a feature A is disclosed in a first document and a feature B is disclosed in a second document, the sum of these features, A plus B, has never been disclosed before, and it is therefore new, even if its inventiveness may be questionable. Also, features of objects described separately in some document, as for example a catalog, cannot be pooled together to determine the absence of novelty. Made available to the public means that the public has access to the information. A PhD thesis in a university library is available to the public even if nobody looked at it. Selling a product makes it available to the public and therefore not new. There is no geographical restriction. It does not matter where the disclosure happened in the world. An oral disclosure or a public prior use are sufficient to destroy novelty, but they are normally more difficult to prove than a written disclosure because they normally require witnesses. Disclosure of prior art should be sufficient to enable the skilled person to practice the teaching, taking into account the general knowledge in the field. A notice of confidentiality on a letter implies that the content of the letter is secret, otherwise the letter content is not considered secret. In some cases, secrecy is implicit. For instance, employees of the same company and also their external suppliers are implicitly bound to secrecy. A demonstration on factory premises to a potential buyer is implicitly understood as secret. Also, the content of a patent application is secret before its publication, unless otherwise publicly disclosed. Additionally, for a European patent application, the state of the art comprises the content of European patent applications filed before and published after the filing date. Which means that if I filed a patent application and some days later someone else files another patent application with the same subject matter, this latter is not new, even if the patent application object of my first filing was secret when the second filing was made. This is made to avoid double patenting, which may happen sometimes also in good faith. So if you made an invention and you are considering to protect it with a patent, keep your invention secret till your patent application is filed.